Okay, question 7. Got a cubic polynomial. It's written the other way around. Normally it starts with the x cubed. So negative x cubed makes it a bit more tricky. Find the remainder when it's divided by x plus 2. The remainder is given by f of whatever makes this 0, and that will be minus 2. And that will give me equals 12 minus 22 times by that negative 2 plus 9 lots of negative 2 squared. And actually I'd never put the minus in there because I know I square it, I'm going to get a positive, and then minus negative 2 cubed, and put that into a calculator. Have to be careful with the negatives. Like I say, I wouldn't include this one. I wouldn't include this one. I'll just actually end up doing 12 plus 44, etc. And then that'll be plus 36, 4 times 9. And this is going to be negative 8. So it'll be minus 8. So it'll be plus 8. And that comes to 80 as 100. Part 2, that's quite a big remainder. Part 2, show that the 3 minus x is a factor. Again, what I've got to do is find out the value of this, which makes it 0. So I've got to put in x as 3. So f of 3 equals 12 minus 22 times 3 plus 9 times 3 squared minus 3 cubed, and that equals 0. And therefore x minus 3 is a factor. And if that is, I suppose, then so is 3 minus x. It'll just be negative as well. Part 3. And express f of x as a product of a linear factor and a quadratic factor. So a linear factor, I've got 3 minus x. I'm going to put minus x plus 3, and I quite like this grid method of doing it now. So it's got to get quadratic, so I've got to get this. I need it to be minus x cubed, so I'm going to put minus x cubed in here. What do I have to times negative x by to get minus x cubed? That's obviously x squared. But that will give me 3x squared here. How many x squares do I want? I want to have 9x squared, so I'm obviously going to have to put 6x squareds here. How do I get that? It's minus x times by minus 6x will give me plus 6x squared. It'll also give me minus 18x. And I don't want minus 18x, I want minus 22x, so I need minus 4 more x's. How do I multiply and get that? Minus x times by 4 gives me minus 4x, and that gives me 12. But actually I do want 12, so marvellous, I've done it. So I've done that bit, I better write it down. So I've got 3 minus x times by x squared minus 6x plus 4. Done that bit. Part 4. Hence solve that equation. I've got 3 minus x times by x squared minus 6x plus 4 equals 0. Giving each root in simplified surd form where appropriate. Rather hints to me that there might be some simplified surds involved. Well, once I simplified them. I've got something times something equals 0. I will either 3 minus x equals 0 or x squared minus 6x plus 4 equals 0. Let's put an x to both sides. That'll be x equals 3. That's one root. And now I've got to solve this one. To me that looks like a completed square form for the easiest way. Could use the formula, but I'm going to complete the square. That would be x minus 3 squared. And that gives me, if I have a look at it, x minus 3, that gives me x squared minus 3x minus 3 more x will be minus 6x's, and plus 9. I don't want to have plus 9. I want to have plus 5, so I've got to take plus 4, so I've got to take away 5 from both sides. Because plus 9 take away 5 gives me that 4. Now I just have to solve that. Add 5 to both sides. That gives me x minus 3 squared equals 5. I don't want square roots. Get rid of that to start off with. I'm going to take it up to here. And so I'm going to get x minus 3 equals the square root of 5, but don't forget it's plus or minus the square root of 5. And then I want to add 3 to both sides to get 3 plus or minus the square root of 5. That's two of the roots. That's the other one here. So I've solved it. I've got 3 roots and it's a cubic. That looks good. And that's question 7 done.